Well, hello and welcome in, Dr. Mario fans, to the DrMC 2023 September Speed Gold Bracket. I am Luke the Librarian, and joining me today is going to be some of our great commentators, as well as four players that are going to just blow your minds with how fast they can run this game. We are up to our semifinal round. We've got two matches in that round for you, then our finals coming up in just a little bit, and it's gonna be a great bracket. Before we do that, though, want to be sure to remind everybody that the Tour Gaming Expo is going to be coming up in November. You want to make sure to get your tickets now. There it is up on the screen. That is going to be a heck of a time. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be the DrMC World Championship in Versus, so you're definitely not going to want to miss that. But getting back to our action for today, I'm going to be joined by Larva 12. Larva, we have got Savage versus Frank coming up first, and I got to tell you, this is going to be an interesting match.
Yes, I am actually very excited for this match. Frank does hold the win record. They have met 5 times already. Frank has taken all 5. But the last one was in February, and I do think that Savage has come quite a bit since February, and I do think that given the right situation, I do think she can potentially take this.
Absolutely. And something to note is that these two have, like you said, they've met 5 times already. But after that first one, which was way back in April of 2021, everyone has gone the distance. They've met once in the semis, that was back in February, and then 3 other times in the first or second round. Every one of them went 2-1 or 3-2. So this is going to be, it's always a close match. And, Savage has definitely been getting some practice in. And yeah, we're just waiting on some readies to see exactly what happened. Looks like Frank is going to have to get himself set back up. So once he is ready, we will be good to go. All right, and there's that ready from Frank. So now your semifinal Sunday is ready to start. Well, almost. And here it goes in 3, 2, 1, and pills. So for this level block, it is going to be levels 10 through 13. This is our semifinal match, as we said. So starting off boards, I like what I'm seeing for Frank. Savage is going to have a little bit of a color diversity problem with her yellows, but once she gets things kind of taken care of here, things are going to move forward pretty well for her.
Yeah, there's a lot of blue going on the top of her board that I'm not super happy about, but especially that clear right there, that helps even everything out. Meanwhile, Frank is dealing with a lot of yellow smattered along his top line, so hopefully he does get the pills he needs for that. It looks like they are coming through for him.
Yeah, now everything's kind of gone to blue top line for Frank, and that can be a bit of a problem. As always, everything here just depends on what the doctor decides to give us. Frank is already planning to do horizontals with the blue, but he's just now gotten access to where he can do that, and has worked his way right on in. But Savage keeping it very close. It's within just a couple of viruses of each other.
And
And
there's
Savage
not a timer
slightly right there.
discrepancy either, so what you see right now is basically what's going to happen throughout. There's not really any timer discrepancy, anything like that we have to worry about.
Yes, indeed. And a reminder that Savage has moved into the second position, or the third position, I'm sorry, in our finals with her wins yesterday. If she were to win this tournament, that would put her in prime position to make a run for that second place. Packy, unfortunately for him, unable to lock it down yesterday, and Savage could potentially play spoiler, but it would take a win today in both games and a pretty good showing next month as well.
Yes, and both of our competitors are into their level 11. Frank does not have a lot of access to yellow right now, but he is opening some of that up. He just has to be careful because he's getting a lot of yellow halves. So some of them are overhanging garbage and things like that. Whereas Savage has there's a lot of blue there. There's a lot of blue there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Speaking of garbage, that's what Savage has gotten. It's just not a friendly board. All this blue, not the best thing to see. And she's taken a little bit of she's just a little bit behind here, but a lot of that is literally coming from the fact that, oh, that misdrop, not what she wanted to see. I'm gonna
Oh,
say a lot of that coming from the fact that this board has not given her anything in the way of blue help that she needs.
a nice drop combo there from Frank. He's down to 9 and Savage is at 15. So she does have a little bit of work ahead of her. A
Nice lightning
very
log there.
nice combo there from Savage. Very, very nice looking at what she has on her board and how she can use other things. If you look in column 1, she's setting up for that drop cross. There we go. That's something
Frank
Savage does very well. She's very aware of what is on her board at any given time.
Frank out at a 335, and yeah, Savage committing to the underclears. That makes sense. She's exactly where she wants to be to get that done. It's still going to put her about 20 seconds behind. She's out at a 353, but that's not an insurmountable difference, especially with Frank having nothing but blue on his top line as well.
Mhm.
And that is going to slow him down just the way it did Savage earlier.
Exactly. There's a reason why blues are a lot of the slowdown in this game. They are the pill that shows up the least. So, for anybody that's new, you don't wanna leave your blues to the end. You're very likely to get droughted at that point.
Savage getting a little bit tilted here. She's made some errors in her play. She's trying her best to get that fixed up, and this T cross is or T clear is going to be very helpful for that. But it is definitely Frank with a pretty solid advantage here in this level 12. Again, we're going to be going 10 through 13 in this level block, and not time to pull the fire alarm yet, but Savage definitely needing to get a good set of plays if she's going to be trying to take this first one.
I like that T from Savage. But Frank is down to 7, and he has the opportunity to take, you know, 5 of them out really quickly, and now he's just down to that 1 blue.
Yeah, and that's it's definitely a good place to be as Frank now out and into his level 13. This one, oh, Savage going to be getting a double yellow blitz. She has finished it up, but it was very helpful for what she's been working on. She needs to get two more yellows now. Well, now two more yellows, and she'll be out of this one, joining Frank in this level 13 out of the 551. So looking at about a 13 virus differential between these two at the start of level 13. And that is, that's going to be a tough nut to crack, but we've seen crazier things happen.
Mhm. And Savage's board, her top line has not had a lot of red. It has had, again, a lot of blue. Doctor's really liking blue today. I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Just means more Dr. Mario for us.
but Savage right now getting a lot of pills of the colors that she needs, right when she needs them. So that has been very beneficial for her. Um, she's only down by 10 at this point. So she has brought some of that back. I don't know if it's something that she could come back from now since we're nearing the end of 13, but we have seen crazier things happen before.
Yeah, and Frank does have a bit of a garbage situation going on. He's cleared up
Mhm.
most of it, but that was a touch of a slowdown for him as well. And yeah, like you said, it's let Savage get back into this. But again, she's going to need to be playing the 13 of her life in order to get out of this quickly enough. And I
Mhm.
am not sure this has been the pills and the plays that she has been looking for that.
Yeah, she's had a lot of good things, but it hasn't been kind of the speedrunner's delight that sometimes we see with some of these. I do like a lot of the things that she set up though.
Yeah, and Frank now
Frank is
just
down to
needing
3.
Yeah, just needs another red and blue. He gets a red blue
Oh,
now. He just needs one more blue. And he's out of 755. Savage has taken this one by 1 second. We are going to have to go back to the tape. She can't believe it. I was watching Frank right at the end to get his timing right. I can't believe it. So yeah, definitely as chat's saying, a photo finish. Let's wait for a second, go back to the tape. We have not awarded yet the crown. This is a best of five, so even, whoever wins this one, it's still gonna have to win two more. But we're gonna wait just a second and see if the timers match. So yeah, I was not even
ooh,
paying attention to Savage's board at the end there, and am still just a little bit in shock.
I caught the last second or so. That's why you could probably hear a little shout from me because I
Yeah,
looked over to see Frank, and then suddenly I looked back and Savage had cleared, 5 viruses immediately while I was looking. So it was, 1 or 2 viruses to 1 or 2 viruses.
Yeah, we were waiting for that perfect RNG that came up for Frank and saw the stage clear come up on Savage's side. Depending on how closely they came in, and there it is. Savage did win by less than a second. Now they are on separate seconds. If they had both been on the same second, we would have gone to a tiebreaker. But
Mhm,
yeah, the ruling is it was a 754 versus a 755. That is a win. And Savage takes the first crown and a little momentum, and unfortunately for her, a lot of shakes. Uh,
mhm,
that's one- that's one of those where your nerves might just be getting the better of you, and
mhm.
so we
I've been
just
in
gonna have to
that
wait and
position
see.
before. I know that the "wait, I gotta win" against somebody you didn't expect is it really sets your nerves off, eh, where you're just really shaky.
Yeah, so definitely gonna be a mental game for both these players. Savage playing on high, Frank playing on his signature medium. And yeah, they are off on the second one. And I gotta say, I love Frank's board. Savage has the options and is finding the right ones. One of the best things, we're always talking about doubles available early, but one of the other best things that you can have on your board is just a lot of places for a lot of diverse pills.
Mhm.
And both players really having that to start this level off. I gotta say, I'm really happy with the levels for both of them.
I wish Savage had just put that red yellow facing the opposite
Yeah.
side, because it would have cleared that double. She wouldn't have had to clear off other garbage, but she's playing a very good horizontal drop game. Um, I really, really like seeing that from her.
Yeah, and Frank just keeping things moving right along, they've been kind of passing the lead back and
Ooh.
forth. I'm gonna say that was probably a misdrop that he just set down at the top of his board. Of
Mhm.
course, he's gonna do trash to treasure. It's one of his hallmarks, the hallmarks of his play as well as of Adelito, whom we'll see later. That's something the two of them definitely have in common. But it has given Savage a little bit of time. Now she is looking at a lot of blue on this board and hasn't used it in the most efficient manner yet. But Well, Frank's looking at a ton of blue as well, so we're gonna wait and see what these folks decide to do with these boards.
But if you watch Savage, look at what she's doing. She's turning things into drop.
Yep,
Uh, that
and it did not fire
the
off the way she
extra did
expected it
not fire
to.
off the way that she wanted. There was an extra red in there. Um, but this should do the drop out, and she'll be out at a 205.
About an 8-second difference as, Frank was out at about a 157, so, definitely something she's gonna wanna keep an eye on. But yeah, that's one of those things. It's actually one of the reasons I don't play on high any more than I usually do, is that I have a tendency to try to make those really complicated moves as well, and that sort of thing has happened to me more than once. So just rough play, but uh, Savage working her way back in as Frank having a bit of a red problem on the top. He's gonna find his way through it, but that's a lot of red on his top line, and thankfully for him, the doctor has delivered.
Mhm. And that, he could have taken a couple of those things a couple of different ways, so his options have still been open. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
think that was necessarily what he wanted to do, with um, that blue-red in column 1, 2, 3, 4. But, like you said earlier, it's, Frank's gonna do Frank things and, uh, you know, clean everything up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a more complicated setup now, than what he was hoping to have, but, as we look over at Savage's side, that's a lot of blue,
Mhm.
and a lot of it is set up for multiples, but
I feel like we've been saying that a lot this match is, "Oh, that's a lot of blue."
I feel like it's been that way all tournament, but yeah, definitely so. Now Frank's still in the lead by about 3 viruses, and he's got a de-sandwich opportunity, and if I know Frank's play style, I just guess I don't because he did not go for it. He does like those more efficient plays, even if they take a little bit more time.
Mhm.
Speaking of very efficient plays, there's Savage coming up with a great drop combo. And she's down to 2, now down to 1. Frank's just needing reds, and not very often do we say you're not getting reds. He's out of 413. Savage needs one more blue. She's going to be out at a 417. So she made up about 3 seconds that level.
Yeah, and she was waiting for, some of what she needed at the end, so I do think that they could have been tied if RNG had been just a little bit nicer.
Yeah, both players waiting for that one last item right at the end of the game or end of the level. And yeah, Savage with a blue yellow
Ooh.
pile at the top has been finding her ways through some doubles, and that's been solid. Meanwhile, Frank with a very red yellow top line. And again, the same thing, a lot of doubles, but he's got a split board now, and that may or may not slow him down.
I do like how Savage has been playing her level. She's been getting a lot of those horizontal drops, turning trash into treasure. I really, really like how she's been playing today.
Yeah, and apparently so does the doctor because she is now sitting on a 4 virus lead. It has been as high as 6 or 7, and actually back up to 6. They're going back and forth as you do in this game.
Mhm.
Um, and she's definitely got a very diverse top line, which is not something you could have said just a minute or two ago. Frank also looking at a diverse top line, but again, everything is all bunched up on the corners for him. If Savage gets the right pills, then Frank's going to be looking at coming at a 13 a bit behind. But if Savage doesn't get any reds, then it's going to be Frank finding his way up to the top. Either way, I would want to be in either player situation right now.
No, but, I like Savage's odds just a little bit better because she has things spread out. She's not dealing with a staircase situation, and if she gets a double red first, please, Doc, please do it. Then she'll find her way out really quickly, and she's already down to just 2, now 1.
But
Oh,
it is
Frank's gonna
Frank
be out
out
at a
first,
625,
and
and
Savage out at
Savage
a
out at a
630.
7. Yep. So about what, 5 seconds difference?
Yep.
So, still extremely close.
Now, opposite problem for Savage here. She's looking at very little red on her top line, whereas Frank has got pretty much all yellows. Now, he has been using, yeah, you saw that combo he just set off. He's been using everything that he can uh, in order to have stuff going down on layers once he set his horizontals off. That
Mhm.
is just good solid play from him, as there's it's a virtual tie. Rank up by about 3 to 5 viruses depending on which second you're watching.
Mhm. And Frank setting up another combo. He can't do exactly what he wants, but does set some of that off. And he does. I like how he's using that column two as just kind of, a trash pile, but using it in a way to where if he gets the right pills, he can drop them down, and they're very useful later on. So again, very smart heads up play from Frank, where he can either get rid of it if he needs to, or use it if everything comes up. If everything starts coming up Millhouse.
Now, this lead has gone back and forth multiple times in the last few seconds. It is currently Frank, but now Savage has tied it up. Savage with no Frank again with the lead, and he's got a slightly healthier board than what Savage has got. Although Savage with this clear is going to be finding her way into a better position.
Hmm.
Frank's got a lot of setups ready to go. In fact, I think this may be the setup he needs. Now just needing some yellow blue, Savage needing some red. It's going to be Frank with a win here at 8:38. Savage not getting the
Oh,
reds that she needed. That is a
oh
heartbreaker, y'all.
no.
Just goes ahead and takes the top out. I don't know that she knew that it was already over, but yeah, no, the doc just not providing her with the reds that she needed.
Mhm.
And yeah, another really, really close match between these two. And we're all tied up. Let's make it a best of three. Oh, 2 games down. I feel like I've already commentated a marathon. All right. Players getting reset. Here's
And
a ready
Savage
from
is
Savage.
playing on chill, and Frank is playing on fever. I know Frank will switch in between fever and chill sometimes. So let
Interest.
go ahead.
I was gonna say interesting. Neither player has gone with the off strats with the information we've gotten from our Discord recently. It might provide a slight advantage, might not. Nobody's really 100% sure, but what we are sure about is that this match is going. And honestly, partner, I'm not sure I like what Savage is working with. Frank's board's slightly better, but not a whole lot better. It's just
Hmm.
it's not full ick yet, but it's not great for either player.
Yeah, I like what Frank has set up. Oh, he's.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought he was going to
just
be even fancier than that. I could see. I could see the fancy. Um,
casual windmill clear, no big deal.
exactly. You know, things like that. We see that from Frank all the time. He does have a lot of yellow on his top line.
Yep. And if you look over at Savage, she's getting the refrain again. It's just so much blue. So,
It is.
oh,
Oh,
great clear for her there. As Frank now at the red portion of his board. Yeah, the very blocky colors on Frank's board today.
yeah. I'm not entirely sure about his. Oh, there. That's what he wanted to do. Okay. I was unsure about the setup on the right side, and then he cleared everything, and it was oh, but
Yeah,
all
much
those
like it.
drops. Frank, how? How do you do this?
Was he getting RNG? been watching Savage as she's missing the RNG. Frank out at a 140. Savage getting a double red blitz in the middle of needing a blue.
Ugh.
She's going to be out at a 147. Pretty consistent times over all three games so far between these two.
Mhm.
Very similar times, but yeah, it's been rough with those late game, pill needs. You got to feel for both these players.
Yeah. I haven't really there's only been maybe one board that I thought, "Ooh, I wanna play this board." The rest of them have been, "Mm, I'm glad I'm not playing that board right now."
Yeah, speaking of Savage getting just hit with
Oh.
yellow blues as she has a pretty much red exclusive top line. She's
Mhm.
gonna get rid of the last of the garbage and get a triple here, but that was a rough patch. And not too bad for Frank. He's got a bit of a shortage of yellow access, but overall it's just a healthier looking board as far as the RNG
Mhm.
goes. It's been kind of rough. It's kind of rough going for Savage so far.
Yeah, she's got this set up, um, in the middle of her board, but it is kind of closed off right now, and she will have to clear that red in order to get that blue horizontal that she wants again.
Yeah, she had a missed drop there, so that's setting her back just a little bit. She's going to get the horizontal she
Ooh,
wanted
nice.
and start and knock that big old combo out of the way and get everything that she needs underneath of it. So this is going to be a good position to find herself
Ooh,
in,
that
especially
was
with this
I
double
did
red.
not see that. A very, very nice L clear from Savage. I love that play.
But again, Frank already has setups for everything and gets the RNG yet again. This is he's out at a 351. Savage just needs two more yellows. Let's see how many pills. There's one, there's two extra pills before she gets what she needs, but out at a four flat. And Frank with a misdrop there on columns 2 and 3. I don't think he's working on any horizontals on that. But yeah, he's hoping for this double, is not getting the red that he needs to gain access to it, and overall just he would love to get these setups going, finally gets access to what he needs, and it's just pulling the trigger. You have to pull the trigger at some point,
Mhm,
and it's not been great.
mhm. Yeah, he's being hamstrung by multiple columns with colors that don't help him on top of the viruses there. Um, and Savage is just she's working through everything. She's actually in the lead right now.
Yeah, a lot of doubles that she has picked up, plus she has an almost completely clear column 8, which she can turn into a garbage column as soon as she gets rid of this last blue. A little bit of a garbage situation there. She would love to see a couple more double. In fact, that double yellow
Woo!
right there, and yeah, the double
Commentator's
yellows, like I said,
blessing.
it's exactly what she wanted. And
Mhm.
yeah, she's taken now a dozen virus lead over Frank, who is struggling with no reds on his top line. That is a just disastrous
Yeah.
board. Not what you want to see. And he would love to get these blues knocked out in a very easy fashion. Look there, he gets the commentator's blessing as he gets the double blue that he needs to do that.
Yeah, but Savage only has 6 viruses left, and she's taken 3 of them out right there, and she's gotta set up for that blue. So now all she needs is a couple of reds, build her platform, take it horizontally, she'll be out at a 6 flat.
Yeah. So that was I believe a 2 minute flat level 12. And she is into her final level of this block and looking down the barrel of a lot of yellow. And
Mhm.
that is going to be a bit of a challenge for her because she's not getting nearly as much of it as she'd like. At some point, I feel like she's going to have to do the same thing Frank did earlier. She's got
Mhm.
everything set up. Just go ahead and
And
take
pull
down
the
the
trigger.
combo.
Yeah, she's waiting for some of it. I don't know how long she wants to wait or it is, advisable for her to wait.
Well,
That double yellow came too late.
as long as she keeps having the pills that she needs to be able to do things on the top of her board, then it's not a big deal. But
Mhm.
that is quickly becoming not the case. This bill finally going
There
to
we
get her what she
go.
needs. But that has given Frank a chance to catch back up. He's within 9. And yeah, this is going to turn into a good one.
It's already been good the whole time. The all parts of the match have been good. This is, you know, potentially gonna be another, photo finish. I know Savage doesn't want that, but that might be what happens.
Yeah, we're within one. Excuse me, within one right now. And Savage does have some setups and keeping it even, but yeah, it's a virtual dead heat yet again as Savage and Frank just trading blows back and forth. There's another clear from Savage. Frank has a bit of height on his board. That might be the sort of thing that slows him down. I don't know. He is
Mhm.
running on that medium speed though, so that is going to prevent it from being too big of an issue. But
Mhm.
look at these triples that he's pulling
Oh,
off. That is exactly what you want if you're Frank.
yeah. Savage has quite a lot again of blue on her top line. Again, we don't always want to see it. I like this setup. She's going to take this red horizontally, drop down that yellow. Perfect.
Yeah, this is what she wants. And Frank now needing some blue. He is down to just 2 blue viruses. Savage going to get a T clear,
Nice tea.
and she is unfortunately oh, she is going to be set up. So Frank has blocked himself off just a little bit. Savage is going to take it at an 8. Oh, she's still got 1 virus. I missed the 1 virus.
Oh, I did too. Oh no.
And there's Frank out at an 8:53, Savage out at an
Oh,
8:55. Another tight finish there.
oh
1
man.
virus again.
Oh, and she
1
sees it.
virus again. That has been all 3 games. All 3 games within just a couple of seconds of each other. All right. Get
I
some
I
water.
love I love the extra Dr. Mario. My brain loves the extra Dr. Mario. My heart, I'm not sure if it can take this.
Get some water, reload, do it again. At least one more game between these 2. Savage hoping to make it 2. Frank hoping to just drop it down in 1. And yeah, chat saying that this might be the closest match we've ever had. I think that may be true as far as just total number of seconds in between. We have had ties before, and I wouldn't put it past Savage to find a way to get one. But there's readies from both players. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1, and pills. All right. Starting off on this board, Savage gets exactly what she wants. Frank has some good setups, gets a great tee to start off, but he's getting a double yellow blitz, and he knows that's going to end with a blue. Does have that double blue. Now it's a question of will he get what he needs for the double reds? There it is, and a double blue. Man, oh man, what a great start for Frank. Savage had a really nice start to her board as well, but it has slowed down uh, just a little bit. Frank's board though was keeping pace very quickly in this early game.
Yes, Savage has gotten through some of the issues on her that she had on her top line. Um, I really like that horizontal clear from her. Um, she had a bunch of setups that basically left just a bunch of red in column after column after column on her top line, and she wasn't getting a lot of reds. Um, but she was able to come through, get through that. Oh, I thought she was going to use that double blue in the middle of her board. She uses it elsewhere. Everything's been good. It is tied up. It is 12-12.
Yeah, and Frank's got some setups. This one's gonna okay. He does use his priorities. Has figured out exactly where he wants. The doctor says, "I'm going to give you double reds. You're going to use double reds." Gets a nice clear there. It doesn't trigger the double blues. But hey, you know what? Nothing's perfect. As Frank down to just one, Savage down to two. She needs one red, one yellow. There's the red. Frank needs one yellow. Savage needs one yellow. They're both out at a 148.
Whew.
Try again. Here we go. I mean, this can you get a tighter match than this? I guess you could, but only if you're watching, those famed Adelito versus Adelito matches like we would see every once in a while. Frank with an interesting tuck down there at the bottom of his board. I'm not sure why he didn't decide to use that double yellow on the top. Um, obviously he found a place for it. It's just I wasn't looking at his board long enough to be able to tell why that was the choice he made. But
Mhm.
you know, uh, all things
Yeah.
are fair in love and Dr. Mario, I guess. I don't know.
Frank has been wanting a red, more, I'm sorry, yellow blues. I somehow chose red, of course, the only color that was not in there, to set that off. And he'd been waiting for a while, finally got everything that he needed. Um, and he does have a slight, well, okay, he does not have a slight lead any longer. When I started the sentence, he did.
Yeah, Savage had been waiting around for that combo for a hot minute. When you've got things set up, it doesn't show up in your virus count until you finish it. And Savage kind of, well, both players really just kind of stuck in these weird positions. Um, but yeah, Savage has some opportunities to get some of that cleared out with some horizontals. I'm not sure when and if that is going to be a thing, but she is definitely committed to it. Frank, meanwhile, has everything pretty well cleared up, has access to all of his viruses, and he should be out of here fairly shortly. Savage looking to do the same. She's going to need, well, she's going to want some horizontals. Frank out of the 355. Let's see how long this one's going to take Savage to get cleared up. Never mind. There it is. A little pause buffer. She's out of 402. Oh, and great RNG for Frank to start there. That was everything that he could have wanted.
Yeah, right now, though, Frank does not have a super huge amount of yellow on his top line, and the one he could potentially use, okay, he's decided against it. He was setting up to take some of those blues in a horizontal, um, that he had already set up. He decided not to do that and to clear everything out. I like Savage's top line a little bit better. She's got more colors exposed. Not a lot of red, but she does have places to use it, and it's not too far down on her board either.
Yeah, I think if she had it all to do again, she'd want to try to find ways to take these blues out more horizontally. But I mean, if we all knew what boards we were getting, well, that would be a different story, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
As yeah, everything's starting to work out for her, but Frank still with about a 10 virus lead here late in this penultimate level of the block.
A nice lightning bolt over there from Savage. Oh, Frank's got a lot of blue.
He's
Why is
also
everybody
found,
making us say we have a lot of blue?
yeah, and it's looking rough for Savage here as Frank
Mhm.
down to just his last two pills or last two viruses rather, and Savage still down at about 14. So Frank out at a sub six. Savage shaking her head. She
Yeah.
knows she knows she's a little bit behind, and she's not getting
Yeah.
what she needs. Uh, that's never a good feeling.
Mhm.
but also pretty quickly here, she's just going to go, oh, hey, this is what I need, and everything's going to finish this board up. But that is giving Frank all the time he wants at the start of level 13. So
Mhm.
we will see here in just a second how much that lead is actually going to be.
There, Savage finally gets those blues off of her board so they can stop bothering her.
Yeah, that's been some rough stuff for her. But now she
Mhm.
needs two more reds. There's one. There's two. So Frank at a 27, Savage, or now 26. So Savage about 30 plus viruses behind, playing for her tournament life here.
And we have a raid from Puzzle Speedrun. Thank you so much for the raid. We are in the semifinals of our monthly speedrun tournament for Dr. Mario.
Yes, indeed. You're watching Frank versus Savage Octagon. Frank is a multi time winner of this tournament. Savage has made the finals twice herself, but Frank at a 2 games to 1 lead, as these two have been so close all match. And Frank now just needs 8 viruses away from taking this one and taking the match. But Savage not letting him go gentle into that good night, or not letting herself go gentle in that good night, rather. I got to get my Dylan Thomas right, as she is keeping it pretty close here. But Frank just 1 blue away, not getting it. There it is. He's going to be out at an 8:06. That is a scorching hot time. And Savage, I think, has been screen watching and probably has a clue about where she is. Yeah. So, lied to say that was the most distance we saw between these two players all match. So,
Mm-hmm.
GG's to both these players for a really well played one.
Yeah, both have played very, very well. That 806 is not enough for our hot times list. That cuts off at 728. But still very, very well played from Frank, still very fast. Very well played. Great match from both players.
Yes, indeed. So stick around. We'll be right back with our second match. That is going to be Adelito versus Floyd coming up next here on the DRMC. And welcome back, folks. I'm Luke the Librarian, and joining me for this one is the Hall of Famer, Packy619. Pack, we have got Floyd versus Adelito. It's our number 2 versus our number 3, and what is it? Eight tournament championships between the two of them. So this is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, we've seen 6 championships from Adelito this year thus far in the monthly speedrun brackets, and he's riding an incredible winning streak of 26 consecutive matches. Floyd has been on a roll lately. In May, June, August, and September, he took a month off in July. But 4 times in a row now, Floyd has managed to reach the semifinals. And if he wants to break through, he's going to have to do it against the very best.
Yeah, and well, I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're playing the game. Uh, I gotta pull for Floyd and Savage both a little bit because we all started the same month. Makes me feel terrible, but that's not the point. It's still, that class of October 2020, go us. But yeah, this can definitely go either way, and it probably will.
Yeah. All right. So, we already have our countdown. We're ready to go.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, I like both these boards. They're nice and gentle. Floyd could probably wish for a little bit more blue near his top line. Adelito gonna get a great T or L. There's an L there, and yeah, I love what Adelito has got set up. Uh, Floyd, meanwhile, has some good plays as well as he's got this very fun moving timer.
And what a fun little combo by Adelito there. I say little, but it was actually quite impressive.
So about a 3 virus difference between these two. Adelito, well, it was 3 when I started the sentence. It's blossomed to about 9 now. Adelito getting what he needs and uh, really just pounding that down button. It's like watching a Packy match. It really is.
Hmm.
Uh, as wow,
Looks like he didn't quite make the turn there, but it's not really going to create too much garbage. It's not going to be a huge problem.
not even
He's just
sure
going to
that
be able.
wasn't the plan.
I mean, I don't think that was the plan, honestly, but it wasn't such that it wasn't the kind of plan where if you screw it up, you're going to be in dire straits for a while. It was if you screw it up, you still have plenty of room to make other clears, and he just kind of turned it into a horizontal clear situation. And look at this nice tee to end his level 10 at a 133.
Wow. Given given how well the last match we just saw was played and the fact that neither player got anywhere near that time coming out of level 10, that's very telling as to what Adelito's really capable of.
Yeah, Floyd's going to be out of here as soon as he gets a few yellow pills. The doc's not being very generous right now with those yellows. Oh, just so much red and blue. But he finally gets out at about a 209.
And he's looking down the barrel of about 20 virus difference already here. That is a heck of a lead for Adelito to start off with, as yeah, he's just pounding his way through the bottom of this board.
Like Floyd's board looks good. He does not have much access to yellow viruses at all, but everything that he does have access to, there's a lot of double clear opportunities that he can work with.
Yeah, and Floyd, one of those players who's not going to go out of his way to make a nice looking combo. He's definitely just gonna drop things straight down. We have lost him for just a second as I was talking about him, so that's gonna screw my brain up for just a bit. But yeah, overall, he's one of those players who likes to. He will just do whatever's in front of him. Ooh, the misdrop from Adelito there.
But he's going to be able to work his way underneath and easily get out at about a 310. Woo! That's a good time.
Yeah. So yeah, here's that famous Adelito versus Adelito match we were just talking about during the last one. As yeah, he's got himself working up
This is
pretty
going to be
well.
a nice drop combo right there by Adelito.
Good grief. And yeah, we're working to get Floyd back up, but you're getting a treat of watching Adelito just work his way through this level. This is good RNG, but it's just perfect play, just about, and that is hard to do in this game.
Yeah, Adelito's just he's getting all the right pills and he's setting up all the right situations to maximize the use of those pills as well. Decides to attack the horizontal and just take the clear. Not going to waste his time. He's got a bit of a drop combo set up on the left-hand side of his board. It's just a matter of getting the trigger pill that he needs for it, and there it is. He's just working with ruthless efficiency right now.
That is about the most apt way I've ever heard it put. Yeah, ruthless efficiency. It's just
He needs a pretty good amount of yellow to finish this one out. Let's see how he attacks this, because I had the feeling that he was going to go try to set up maybe a T clear here. Oh, the perfect pill for
there it is. Yep. And the double yellows that he needs. He's not going to use them though because he needs that red setup.
Yeah, he doesn't want the reds to drop just yet. He wants to get a red, and then he wants the yellow to drop down and finish the level at a 509.
Okay, better check hot times real quick just to make sure we know what's going on. 642 is Adelito's PB. That is our #1 hot time for this level block. I don't think he's on pace to do that, but I didn't think he was on pace to do what he's already done. So we will just have to wait and see what he puts together for us.
Man, and he is just getting all the right pills right now. He is ripping through this level 13.
Yeah, and
He
oh my
has a
gosh.
he has a place to put everything. He's getting 0 drop clears, getting drop combos all over the place.
Yeah, I think it would have.
He's got a
What?
he's got a big horizontal setup in the middle of his board. Just look at this.
Yeah, I was gonna have one negative thing to say, but it's not relevant anymore.
And just like that, he drops everything back into place, and just man, it's marvelous to watch.
Yeah,
Well, if he gets a sub 7, it's definitely a hot time. I mean, it might not be the record, but it's going to be close.
yeah, I mean 642 is his PB, and I mean, could it?
No, it
There's
could.
one,
He just needs a couple more pills. He needs one blue.
two,
Not
and
quite, but 644, a phenomenal time for this level block.
yeah, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's gonna take game one. Just taking a quick look at our hot times list, that's in second. Adelito's the only player to ever drop this level block in a sub 7, and he has now done it twice. Because of course he did.
You got to catch your breath after watching that.
Chat letting us know Floyd must have gotten a 641. Yeah, that's it's hot time strats. What do you do against them? Oh well, Floyd does actually know that one because that's what he did to me. You get a hot time, and you get beat by a better hot time.
It happens.
Oh, definitely.
So, everyone, just catch your breath and get ready for game 2.
Yeah,
We
we're
don't
gonna hold tight.
yet have any word from Floyd. He might still be playing.
Yeah, as soon as we've got him, we'll get him back up on the screen. But sounds like there was a little bit of a hiccup on his end. There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, an 8:10.
And honestly, this ain't a bad time at all.
Oh, that's
Just
a
a
great
little
time.
bit above 8 minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah, players are generally looking for a sub 8, but it's nothing to get, close to 9 minutes here. Ooh, wow.
I would gladly take an 8:15 on this level block because that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. You fully
If I live
expect
to a 644, so be
it. Yeah. All right, so that's game 1 in the books. We've got minimum 2 more, up to 4 or 5 more we could be seeing. No, it's 4 more. I can math, I promise.
Our countdown, and we are go for game 2. Adelito playing high chill and Floyd playing medium and off. A bit unfortunate of a top line and starter pill set for Floyd at the beginning, that blue-red in the middle of his board, but it's not going to be a huge deal. He doesn't have a lot of access to yellows right now, unfortunately.
Such a small thing, but it means so much when you can use that first pill.
Yeah, just set the tone right.
Because it means so much more when you can't. That's when you
yeah.
get grumpy about it.
Yeah.
Right, Adelito.
Double yellow surge for Floyd.
And Adelito down to just a small handful of yellows left on his board. All the rest of them are almost inaccessible. He has worked his way down to it, but it's gonna take a little bit of red and blue and not yellow for him to be able to get out of this board, as Floyd with a slight advantage here, but also 10 seconds extra on the timer.
He's got 10 seconds extra on the timer, but the 11 virus difference probably more than makes up for that. Still needs a pretty good chunk of blue to get out of this level.
Yeah, and he's going to love that. Now he just needs this blue. Well, okay, he decides to go for the yellow-blue, 135. So let's see where Adelito comes out at. Yeah, I think you're right that Floyd is safe in his lead so far.
Yeah, so far, but no lead is safe against this man because he is a beast.
He's only lost once this entire season, and that was to Watchman back in January. As we said, as you said at the top of the match, he is sitting on a 26 game win streak, but 158, he's going to need, he's going to need to be catching up if he wants to take this one game.
Yeah, right now, 10 viruses to 10 seconds for the difference here. Nice little flip up by Floyd there to eliminate those blues in column 1. But there's only 3 blue viruses left on his board out of 26 total.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. As Adelito getting himself, he started off with a big double yellow blitz and has pretty much just worked his way down with a lot of garbage, honestly. Uh, Not sure what all he's setting up at any given time, which is pretty usual for Adelito. But I think Floyd's still maintaining a slight lead.
Yeah. 4 viruses to 10 seconds. If you consider clear rates for both players, I would probably call that about dead even.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But yeah, this, like you said earlier, well, actually, it's for both players now. They've got mirrored blues. That is the only blue left on the board for either one of them, is the one tucked away in the corner, and not what either one would like to see. Yeah, now it's really just races for reds for Floyd. For Adelito, he needs yellows. He's got everything else pretty well set up.
Floyd's still waiting on his reds.
Oof.
There's a double red. That's going to be a huge help. But Adelito's already out, just under 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was a 353 for Adelito, and now Floyd. And
finally gets his reds. RNG once again making life difficult for Floyd.
Yeah, but look at the stop line for Adelito. It is red or yellow blue. Just gross amount of yellow blue.
Nice start from Floyd in his level 12, but now he's facing a 10-second and 6 virus deficit.
Yes, indeed. But so far doing a good job. He's got his board down to a similar level to what Adelito's got. Adelito with a few more setups already built, but overall, it's not the prettiest board for either player. I'm sure they would both love to be playing a different one right now.
Floyd is once again facing what he faced at the end of 11, and that's a lack of red pills. You see the hand gesture. He knows exactly what's going on.
Yep.
No
Doc
red,
is
no
running
red,
a conspiracy.
No red. Okay, there's a red. But he's still got to break through that layer of red at the top of his board on his top line right now. And now he's getting a blitz of double yellows. And following that double yellow blitz is always a double blue. And usually with a little assortment of blue yellows afterwards. So Dr. Mario's just forcing him to play the waiting game. Nobody likes to play that.
Yeah, it's anathema to our
and another double game. Yellow rush.
Wow.
Man, this can't be real.
Ooh, things are looking rough for Floyd right now, as Adelito was out about a 554, and has already started steamrolling his way right through the bottom of this, or into this level 13. He's getting quite a bit of time advantage from the Doctor and from Floyd's just really bad RNG. This is rough for him.
Floyd still needs some red help, and once again, he's getting double yellowed to death. Oh, man. He's only got a couple of reds left, thank goodness. At this point, I think he's just kind of resigned to the drop time because he knows he must get the feeling at this point that Adelito pretty much has this in hand, because when you got to go up against Adelito and get that kind of RNG, it's pretty hard to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, it was a minute and a half difference at the end of that level, but Adelito not getting the blues that he wants. Finally gets everything he needs to pull the trigger on that combo, but it was a long wait for him trying to get those double blues knocked out. This has been it's been gross for both players, honestly.
Lloyd waiting on a little extra blue help so we can clear out the middle of his board. There it goes. A couple of quick little horizontal clears were available to him. Decided to go vertical on that one.
I imagine Adelito's waiting for a red-blue on that left-hand side. He does misdrop that, or misflip that that yellow-blue in the middle. But
can you believe after all that nonsense, Floyd has managed to pull within 7 viruses?
I've been watching Adelito's board, and I can absolutely believe that. Things are getting kind of tilty on this side. We know that he's always got an extra plan for something, but it's not been pretty. And
you got to believe that. Oh, okay, Adelito. Oh,
there it
very
is.
nice combo.
Gosh.
That cleans everything out, and he's going to be out of here at just a little under 9 minutes. 8:54 for Adelito. And really rough RNG for Floyd in that one. It's pretty phenomenal that he managed to bring it back as close as he did.
Yeah, that was a rough round. That was not the boards either player really wanted. All right. Shuffle up and deal. Let's do it again.
We've got a ready from Floyd.
Yes, indeed.
We got a ready from Adelito, and we are ready for game 3.
All right. And it's 3, 2, 1. Pills. So this one is going to be, it's match point for Adelito. And there we go. We get both players started. And I like this board for Floyd. This is the sort of thing he needs to kind of find his way back into this one. A lot of double opportunities, and he's going to take them.
Just waiting for that. And he's just going to go ahead and take the first blue fragment he gets.
Yeah, and look at what Adelito's setting up.
Yeah, it looks really dicey, and he had to take that blue yellow instead of waiting for the red blue because he was running out of room to put things.
Yeah, that's the kind of space that it wasn't going to be too much longer before he was going to run completely out. So, yeah, it's all tied up here at the top of level 10 with actually Floyd with a slight advantage. He'd love a blue yellow. There it is. And is going to get everything he needs to drop this combo. That was a very sweet one for him.
Very clean board from Floyd thus far. I love what I'm seeing right now.
Oh, extra flip from Adelito.
Oh,
He can get underneath that with a swim. Now it's no longer necessary to swim it, but that is still going to put him working a
that
little
does
bit
take
behind.
away the horizontal clear possibility for that yellow virus in column 2. So that might complicate matters a little down the road.
Yeah, as Floyd again holding on to that slim lead. Um, it's a much cleaner board for him. He is hoping, I'd say, for a red yellow, but the options for taking out those yellows horizontally not really there. So it's going to be
Yeah,
4 vertical yellows, and that's not the prettiest thing to do.
yeah. He kind of resigned himself to that after he started throwing his garbage in column 5. So now he's just going to have to clear everything vertically, and that's going to give Adelito the chance to get out of level 10 first, just at a little bit over 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is
Oh, not
rough.
again! Come on, RNG.
And Floyd without anywhere to put. Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah, this is bad. This is
he
not
can
what he
use this
wanted at
to get the
all.
clear and take out one of the yellow viruses. But you see those 3 half yellow pills over there. He could not use those. He was pretty much resigned to blue yellow or yellow yellow.
All right, speaking of playing high and dangerous, here comes Adelito with another killer combo. Is already waited once to trigger it.
He's gonna
There it
go ahead and
goes.
take it now.
Good grief. Again, a misflip from Adelito. There's no way you can make no way you can convince me that was exactly the way he wanted to set that. Okay, I guess there's one way you can convince me. Regardless, yeah, if it is what he was planning, he's just thinking on a completely different level, which we already know he's doing to some extent, but my gosh.
Waiting for a okay. This is the perfect pill to drop this combo that he's been waiting for. And if he can clear out columns 5 and 6, he's going to have a nice lightning log opportunity waiting for him.
Yes, indeed.
In fact, it looks like he's going to have a nice little fat T situation going on. I don't know what else to call that, really. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so Floyd actually still within just a half dozen viruses, and considering the end of that level 10, that is a testament to his play. But it is Adelito out first at a 408, and Floyd not with the cleanest of boards. That spiring column 4, or yeah, column 4 has been the bane of his existence, but so far he's working his way around it. Really wishes now that he would have done the red side of that pill half earlier instead of the blue.
Yeah, but Floyd has a pretty clean end game here on 11. He's going to be out at about a 440.
All right, 20 virus difference. Floyd
20
again
viruses,
playing.
yeah. 20 viruses in 2 seconds separating the players right now. I like Floyd's early board here. All the yellow he has access to are bunched up on the edges of the board right now, but he's looking pretty good. He's probably has some double opportunities ahead of him if he can get them. They're mostly
Yeah,
horizontals though.
yeah. Lito's wanting something similar. He's got wow, it was a great combo set up there. Just nothing is being clean for him. This is going to be nice.
Early flip there from Floyd with that blue red in columns 5 and 6.
But yeah, overall, it's just been nice, clean play from Adelito. Floyd just struggling a little bit. Interesting that Adelito decided not to take that horizontal. He's going to take it on the other side, though, and man, he's going to be out of this 12 as soon as he gets one more blue at a sub 6.
Adelito's out of 12 at about a 602. 56 viruses away from another final.
Yeah, but crazy
Got a
things can
great
happen.
setup here, the cross into the drop combo. Might be waiting for a blue-yellow at this point, and there it is, into a horizontal, and then he's got a quick little drop combo set up. Everything's just peachy.
Yeah, Floyd, at this point, I mean, I hate to say it in a semifinal match, but slight possibility of getting lapped. I don't expect that's what's going to happen, but that's a surprise. Even, knowing how good Adelito is, it's still a surprise whenever it's this dominant of a performance. And Floyd is not looking to get lapped here. He's only got a couple of viruses left, but that's, I mean, what do you say at this point?
Well, it looks like Floyd is not going to get lapped because this blue is going to get him out at a 727 into level 13. And this is going to give him a distance of about 39 viruses as well as the 2 extra seconds on the clock. Floyd's got a nice start to this level, though. It's looking relatively clean. Lack of access to yellow early, but very clean and neat, and a lot of double opportunities waiting for him.
Yeah, Adelito down to just some double opportunities on the bottom of his board. And he's looking for horizontals as well. There's all but one, and he's not going to get a sub 8, but is going to be out at an 809. So GG's to Adelito as Floyd is going to be knocked out, but excellent play from Floyd as well. This has been a really tough set of levels for both these players, and Floyd showing the resilience and the calmness that has made him one of the best players in the tournament. But that is going to do it for our semifinal matches. When we come back, it's going to be Frank versus Adelito in our finals. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. It's the DrMC.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the September 2023 edition of the Dr. Mario Speed Championships Gold Bracket. And after all the hype and all the chaos, we have 2 in the finals. We have Frank and Adelito. This is going to be quite a match because this truly is a heavyweight title fight. Because if you look at speedrun.com, these guys are 1 and 2 in the 0 through 20 category. These guys are pretty much as good as it gets. And I am joined in the broadcast booth once more by Ook the Librarian. Ook, what do you think about this one?
I mean, this is kind of what we expected to see when we started the broadcast tonight. It certainly never a guarantee for anything, but this is we saw this back in February. This was the match for the finals then, and prior to that, Frank had beaten Adelito 3 straight times. Now Adelito did take the win, but it was a 3-2 match. So, I mean, is Frank going to be the one to end Adelito's winning streak, or is Adelito going to take his 7th tournament in 7 attempts or in 8 attempts this year? I don't know, and I can't wait to find out.
Well, if anyone can do it, it's probably Frank, because he's one of the best there is. Adelito calling for sub 9s. I mean, you've done it before, my man.
Yeah, and to put that into perspective, Adelito does have the number 1 hot time in this level block, as well as the number 2 hot time and the number 3 hot time and the number 4 hot time. Frank is tied at number 7. There's a minute between these 2 players' hot times.
We got 2 readies and we're set to go. Game 1 in 3, 2, 1. Pills.
All right, so we're up to levels 14 through 17, and again, this is a best of 5. So definitely not a sprint. This one is the marathon, and these two have run it many times before. Frank and Adelito are two, I believe, are two most tournament wins. Two players who have won the most monthly tournaments, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Um, and yeah, neither one of these boards really just saying, "Hey, play me fast."
Adelito getting a lot of red blues, but he doesn't really have a lot of use for the red fragments. He's cluttered up with a lot of blue and yellow at the top of his board right now. Manages to clear out some garbage.
He has broken through, but like you said, it's been a bit of a ways to get there. But Frank's still quite a bit higher up on his board for the most part. Is only 4 viruses behind, but he is lacking access to yellow once he gets done with this one.
Nice drop combo by Frank there to get everything down a bit. He has some interesting opportunities.
Oh,
I'm not sure if he meant to put that red yellow that way, but I'm not. But to be honest, I'm not quite sure what his plan is yet. He's got a red horizontal set up here. Decides to take it.
that was just one. That was a one space overtuck. That one would have gone as a double if he had taken it when he did. Unfortunately, just didn't happen for him that way. But Adelito now looking at a lot of blue at the bottom of his board. I think we've said that a few times already tonight.
Oh yeah.
But he's going to use it as well as he can, get some horizontal combos, just get himself out of here pretty quickly.
Frank just has a lot of blue on his board, period. But this double blue is going to take out the last blue virus. But Adelito was the first out at about a 208.
I've had my players mixed up. I think I've been calling the wrong player on the wrong side. Anyway,
Oh, a nice adjustment by Frank there to accommodate the double yellow there and eliminate all garbage on his board.
and it's you can see, the extra taps that Frank will put down. That is his kind of his signature play style. Just a lot of very quick tapping. He doesn't rely on the DAS at all. He will make as many taps as he actually needs.
Frank, the right hand side of his board is looking pretty heavy on viruses. He's going to set up a T clear so that he can clear out some of the garbage as well as a couple of the red viruses at the same time. Digs down for a quick horizontal clear, but he needs some red help right now on this board. All right, looks like he decided to go that route with it. And okay, decides not to go for the T after all. I guess RNG just kind of led him in that direction.
And Adelito has got himself down towards the bottom of his board. He would love to take these reds out horizontally. There he gets that. And yeah, this big stack on the right-hand side, that's not what he's going to want to see.
Yeah, Frank really needs to address the right hand side of his board as soon as he can. Gets a good piece of red to do that with the red yellow. Gets the T clear in the middle of his board, but he's still got a lot to work through on that right hand side. He's got some double clears set up, which is going to work out pretty nicely for him and going to make things a lot easier. But he's still got a lot to worry about over there.
Adelito's into his end game and just made an extra garbage clear so that he could get himself into a perfect position for his end game out at a 421. And yeah, definitely putting the screws into Frank here as Frank is trying to get out of level 15, but it is Adelito who is out first.
Frank just needs a fistful of red to get out of here. Then timely double red. Now he's one pill fragment away, and he's out at a 447.
Yeah, and look at all these doubles. Adelito has already knocked a ton of doubles off the top of his board. Gotta wonder about that setup, but uh, even with all of that, look just down that board how many double opportunities he's got. He would love to see a double blue that would give him a 5 virus clear, and decides to go ahead and just pull the trigger early, and take this horizontal now.
Frank has a lot of blue on the left-hand side of his board and if he gets like maybe a double blue here, it can really clear out a lot right away. Here's the double blue. That's going to help him deal with that. Getting all the right RNG he needs to get through. Nice T clear. Very efficient play. Nice little swim move to set up the yellow virus on column 1.
Yes, indeed. So Adelito closing in on the end of this level 16, has had to deal with a little bit of garbage here, but so far it has not posed a real problem for him. Again, just all these double setups that were built into his board. He's only got a couple of single viruses, takes one of them out. Now it's just blues. But the doc has not been particularly forthcoming with the blues, and yeah, it's taking its time. Think he's going to want to take care of this right hand double first, so that interesting.
Well, you got a double blue there, and he's pretty much handled all the blue on his board. Now there's just this big cluster of red in the middle. Let's see how he decides to attack this one. Yep, just some quick horizontal clears. Now he's just a couple yellow fragments away from finishing his 16 at a 652.
Yes, both players here at the bottom of their boards. Alito with a misdrop there. I would have to say that red yellow not going the direction he would have liked.
He did have a little bit of unnecessary garbage in the middle of his board. He manages to work around it and get some key horizontals to open up his board. Could be looking at a big red horizontal clear.
Yeah, and
but now
with Frank,
he cannot flip a pill vertically and reach the far right hand side of his board with a full dash charge now. So now he's okay. That time he did manage to do it.
Frank has been getting nothing but blues on his top line, though. That has been the real problem he's had.
Maybe a problem, but while Adelito was wrestling with how high column 8 was, Frank has managed to take a 3-virus lead on him.
Yep, and that has really gotten him moving in the right direction. There is a lot of yellow for him, but so far the doc has been kind. He's also got a lot of yellow garbage that he's dealing with. But
Frank has a fat log set up, and this is what he needs to trigger it, but he decides to clear on the far left-hand side instead.
Here it comes.
Now he decides to take the fat log. And if he can get that horizontal on those blues in row number 3 by clearing out that yellow virus on the top of column 5, then those reds will drop down on the other reds in column 3, and there it is. Frank has pulled ahead pretty far in this final level.
Yeah, I'd say it's a really nice spot to be in if you're Frank. And yeah, he's gotten some really good RNG to finish this level out. Interesting use of the blue there. He's setting up for a horizontal.
Yeah, he's sniffing the horizontal, and he's just waiting for some yellow help now.
Honestly, I feel like at this point he could have gone ahead and had himself out of the level. But all that does not matter one bit, because there he is out at a 9 minutes 20. So
Adelito has passed 9:20. So game 1 to Frank. Nice little drop combo by Adelito right there to get the in between double horizontal clear.
Yeah, GG's to Frank on that one.
Looks like he might be aiming to eliminate those blues. Maybe he's just trying to swag it up at this point.
I mean, yeah, Adelito's one to he's one to listen to commentary, so he knew as soon as it was over, and then started looking for something pretty, and I can't say I blame him.
So game 1 to Frank thus far.
Yes, indeed.
Frank is going to soft reset his way back to level 14, and he'll be ready for game 2.
All right, there's a ready from Adelito. There's a ready from Frank. Let's get this game number 2 started. It's 3, 2, 1. Bills.
Looks like both players out of the gate at pretty much the same time. Lack of yellow access and an immediate pair of double yellows for Frank to start off.
And meanwhile, Adelito getting the RNG he would really like here at the top of his board. Everything's coming up pretty well for him. I'm sure he would like very specific pills to start showing up, though, and pretty quickly. And at this point, none of them need to be yellow. Or red, that is.
Looks like Frank got off to a pretty slow start in comparison. It's already an 8 virus deficit that Frank is facing.
Yeah, and I think he's looking at some horizontals and would love to get them set up.
You got to believe that he wants to start by getting that T clear. He goes ahead and just takes the horizontal clear instead and gets the big drop combo. And now he's going to attack column 5. If he gets a red yellow, and here it is, that's going to drop in easily.
Yeah, and
he's going to set up another drop combo here coming down on column 6.
Wow.
Just like that, he's closed the gap to 3.
Yeah, just watching these combos dropping left and right, it's pretty mesmerizing. But it is still just about a 3 virus game. Now it is Frank who is in the lead, as Adelito trying to get his way through.
Frank has to work his way through a bunch of red viruses, but he's pretty much done that, and now he's going to be out of level 14 at about a 201. Wow.
But it's a 202 for Adelito.
202 for Adelito.
So these two just running hot, keeping things very tight between the two of them. Frank, trying to avoid some drop time there, decided it wasn't worth trying to avoid. But he would really, really like double red right now. It looks like he may be going ahead and manufacturing one.
Frank has to contend with a pretty red-heavy top line right now, particularly the reds on columns 1, 2, 7, and 8. Nice in-between clear. Very, very good improvisation to work his way between and through all these non-red pills that he's getting, but at some point or another, he needs to address those sides of his board quickly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Adelito getting some nice horizontals there. Double horizontal combo, not a thing you see for most players, but just another day in the office from Adelito, as he is now back in on top by just a virus. And that we expect that to just be going back and forth the entire rest of this game. Yeah, it's been good play from both these players. Not a lot of misdrops and a lot of really fancy ideas, which is kind of the hallmark of both players' play.
It looks like Frank is now addressing the top of columns 1 and 2. Takes a lot of drop time here, but he didn't really have much choice in the matter just with the way his viruses were set up. I wonder if he might be thinking about doing a horizontal clear on that yellow in column 6. But it looks like he's not going to do that. He's probably just going to play it straight. And there it is, the vertical clear to take out the garbage. Gets a bit of yellow held to address his top line.
Ooh, a great combo from Adelito there. And yeah, it's Oof, that's a tough bottom of a board for Adelito. He gets a double blue he would have loved earlier, but now he is committed to horizontals, and that may not be the fastest method of getting through all this, because he has to play this board extremely cleanly at this point. Otherwise, these horizontals not going to be coming up for him. But then again, he has found ways before. As Frank out at a 450, Adelito stuck at the bottom of his board.
He's just a yellow fragment away, and there it is at a 458. You saw him move it over just a extra column, just in case one of his button presses did not register, just to be on the safe side. So you definitely don't want to top out right now because Frank is at the top of his game.
Yeah, definitely so. Frank, already one game up, and putting Adelito on notice. He hasn't had a perfect run of games. That's not been Adelito's style. He hasn't been dominant in that way, but he has, as we've said before, he hasn't lost a match since January, and you don't do that by not playing your absolute heart out every chance you get.
Looks like Frank is maybe trying to figure out how he's going to set up his horizontals here on level 16. He's down by just a couple of viruses, so it's still anybody's game right now, but Frank is coming up with some plans, and it's pretty interesting to see it come down. There's a nice drop combo.
And big T clear from Adelito a second ago.
Oh, I don't think Frank meant to do that.
Oh, no, that is not looking good for Frank.
Yeah, he nudged it over just a couple of rows too soon, and now it looks like he's going to try to set up a horizontal out of it, and here we go.
Always something with him. I feel like that undertuck might have been early, but
now he's got a nice horizontal set up in row 3. All he needs is a couple of blues, or a couple of yellows, excuse me, to trigger that, and he still has other viruses on the sides of the board that he can address while he's waiting for those yellows to show up. So he can kind of do this at his leisure. Those blue yellows are going to be perfect, and he can even clear that yellow horizontally. Adelito's getting hammered by RNG, but both players out practically at the same time. Frank has a couple of extra seconds on his timer, but it is neck and neck going into the final level here in game 2.
Yeah, that RNG hammer for Adelito was actually right after he had missed a blue drop and ended up paying for it from the doctor. That was not the medical bill he was looking for, I'll say that.
Yeah, these blue yellows that Frank is getting, he can't play those on the top of his board, and he needs to address the top of his board as soon as possible.
Yeah, that is a lot of headspace that Frank needs to take care of, but man, oh man, finds a way right through it pretty quickly there.
Yeah, Adelito has managed to take a 9 virus lead in this level now, while Frank had struggled with the top of his board.
Yeah, but as we saw from Frank the last game, here
comes a nice drop combo from Frank here.
Yeah, he is certainly capable of taking out any of those leads and just making it work for himself. So yeah, nothing is safe when Frank is playing at the top of his game, and so far that is what we have seen from him tonight.
Right now, what Frank needs is a lot of red help. He hasn't been able to address column 7 in particular because, well, look at his top line. Column 6, 7, and 8, he has red viruses on the top line, and unless he gets a double red, he's pretty much resigned to addressing the left edge of his viruses rather than what he wants to do and take out the top.
I think we might have actually seen a game breaker from Adelito just a second ago. I did see a small stop in his time or in his clock, his game, as he is out at a 921. Very curious if that's what I saw. That was crazy.
Adelito's top line management gets him level 17 and game 2 of this series.
Well, partner, it's all tied up. I guess we're going to make a best of 3 out of it.
Yep, and then the double red rush, so Frank can finish out at a 946.
All right. Well, let's do 2 or 3 more. What do you say?
Why not? I want more.
Oh, definitely. All right, so there are the readies from both players. Chat's hyped up. They want as much Dr. Mario as they can get. So it's 3, 2, 1 pills. And don't forget, next Saturday, you'll be able to see our silver bracket with a whole lot of other players who are going to be 3, 2, 1 pilling their way right into an extra few points.
Adelito already setting up a big brain combo in the middle of his board. This is going to be a huge cascade once he gets it.
If he gets it.
But in order to trigger it, he needs to get that blue clear on that blue horizontal clear, and here it comes. Woo!
And that's a lot, but it also left him with quite a bit of garbage. So we're going to see how he's going to take care of that little problem. As Frank takes care of a little bit of garbage on his own and stays within just a couple of viruses here early in this level 14.
Looking at this match right now, nice drop combo by Adelito. Has a healthy 7 virus lead in level 14. It immediately drops down to 3, of course, because that's just the nature of this game. But Adelito naturally playing very smoothly thus far.
Yeah, Frank now looking at top line that's all red. It's been kind of rough for him this game, but he is finding ways to use everything that he's getting. And
looks like Adelito's going to be waiting for some blue reds to put on the left-hand side of his board to address the red viruses there, as well as a nice drop T here. And now he's going to have a horizontal clear set up for those blues in columns 1 and 5.
That is smart play from our multi-time champion here. With another horizontal setup, he would love to have gotten out with the yellows, but there's another yellow. He's out at 202. Frank not going to be very far behind, though. He is out at a 214, so a 12-second time difference between these two.
2 really good times for this level, by the way. I mean, if you're just a little over 2 minutes in these levels, that's a pretty good time.
Yes, indeed.
So right now it's about a 6 virus game between these two players. Adelito breaking out the horizontal clear. Getting a little bit clustered on the left-hand side of his board. There's a decent amount of garbage that he's going to have to deal with. I like that, what he did with those 2 double blues there. Set up the drop combo, and now he's pretty much got a horizontal drop set up as soon as he can get a blue-yellow. And it looks like he's just going to set up more on top of it, and that's going to add another virus clear to his combo.
Because of course he is. Interesting that he's not taking. There he goes.
Right.
It's interesting that he didn't take that horizontal when he had the opportunity. Yeah, now again, laying more on top.
Oh, nice drop T. Holy smokes. It's just he only had to drop that 1 row as well. It's just so efficient and beautiful to watch.
Yeah, that's the sort of plays that got Adelito the 0 to 10 and 0 to 20 in the same run. Something that hadn't been achieved in I I looked it up once in like 15 years, I think. But the RNG is definitely hamstringing him right here, as he would love to be able to hit some of these horizontals, but he needs reds to be able to do that.
It looks like he's going to bust those yellows horizontally to possibly set him up with a horizontal clear of those blues and columns at the bottom of 1 and 2. And this is just what he needs to finish that off, and he's going to get a lightning bolt with this double red.
Yes, indeed. This is going to simplify his life. He just needs 2 more yellows. There's 1. There's 2 out of the 431.
Frank not far behind, though. He just needs a handful of reds to get out of his 15.
Really well set up there.
Not giving it to him. But here's a double red. That's exact. And there's another one. 449.
All right.
Looks like Adelita might have been debating on what to do with that pill for a split second. I like what he did with that double yellow, however. It cleared out column 3 and gave him access to some reds, which he otherwise had no access to whatsoever.
Now he's waiting for a double red.
He's going to get some double yellows right now. But he has a nice drop combo set up as soon as he does get the red he needs. And there is the double red he was waiting for.
Yeah, went ahead and chose the other side for it. I was not expecting that just off looking at it, but made perfect sense. He managed to get an extra virus out of that combo. That was a very heads-up play.
Looking at Frank's board, he's got a lot of blue on his top line right now, and blue can be difficult to rely on sometimes, but there's a very well-timed double blue right there. That's exactly what he needed in that moment. Frank keeping it within striking distance. He's only down by 7 viruses right now.
Yeah, but having everything, well, he did for a while have everything stacked up on the right-hand side, but clearly has already taken care of that particular problem, as Adelito getting some questionable RNG and not sure about some of the decisions he's making, but I'm sure they are decisions that will make very good sense as soon as things start dropping.
Right now, Frank obviously going for the vertical or the horizontal rather, on those reds in columns 7 and 8, and there is that nice little drop combo. Adelito is out at 640
641.
641. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't quite catch the timer there. About a 701 for Frank is a pretty good time through 16.
Yeah, but a 20-second time difference. 20 seconds of extra playtime for Adelito at the top of this board. And again, this is level 17, so this is the first time that the top of the board becomes a relevant issue, as these are as high as the viruses can be placed. Frank with a very quick tap over to get himself out of some trouble there. So yeah, this is the point where top outs could be a real issue, but
nice
so far both players
keep
it
Frank
safe.
There. He had been waiting for that piece so he could address that issue right away. And now he's got to be waiting for that red horizontal in the middle of his board. Gets the perfect pill to do it. He's within 3 viruses right now.
Yeah, but Adelito definitely smelling blood in the water. He's got a lot of really good combo setups ready to go. He would love a double red for that one that he just started working on. Decides against it, just goes ahead and sets up with a little bit of garbage. But gonna get a T here. That was a really pretty combo. Fortuitous piece right there.
Frank quickly drilling down. He's nearly at the bottom of his board now. If he can get through that blue virus in column 5, he can get a big horizontal clear on the bottom of his board. But right now, he also has the opportunity to horizontal those reds. Takes the bottom clear first. It's 4 to 6. It is extremely close. Adelito is just about done. He just needs some help a little bit. He has one red virus to go, and he's going to be out at 8:56. And Frank is going to be out at a 9:04.
So a couple new hot times for the boards. But it is Adelito who gets the better hot time. And yeah, again, Adelito's the only player who's ever, no, he's not the only player. He's one of two players, I believe, who have gotten a sub 9 on that level 3. There are 3. Influx is one, Pack, you're the other one. And yeah, he just added yet another one to that. Frank very close to getting his PB, but takes the number 9 spot. Well, it'll be the number 10 spot by the time Adelito's done with him. Man, what a couple of nice boards.
Great. Yeah, these have been some really awesome times to see from the both of them. But now it's match point for Adelito. Frank needs to win game 4 to stay alive. We've got readies. We've got countdown. We've got 3, 2, 1, and pills. They are raring to go, and a nice quick little double clear for Frank to start things off.
Yeah, that's definitely what he wanted to see. And he's going to have the opportunity for a nice double if he either A, chooses to go for it, which he does,
nice.
Or if the that yellow-blue that just came up would have finally showed up. It didn't, so here he is. And Adelito not seeing a lot of blue on his top line, so that's going to slow him down just a bit.
Yeah, he looks like he has some junk on his board, but if he can get a red and get that horizontal clear going down column 2, he's going to get a nice drop T there.
Wow. Crazy stuff.
Looks like Frank is kind of playing the long game here on the left-hand side of his board. He needs a lot of blues to cut through the other columns, but you saw he was using those yellow reds to stack up over there because for one, he had no real place to put them, and for another, if he could get some help clearing out columns 3 and 4, he could ultimately set up a nice drop combo, and here it is.
Yeah, Adelito finally getting down to some blues, but pretty much immediately gets everything he needs to clear them out. I think he was looking maybe to do a slide under to get the double blues on the left-hand side. Wasn't able to get there. Let's see if he tries it again. There it is. And now he's getting ready to set up for these yellows horizontally, and I can't say I blame him there.
Yeah, you saw Frank had that first red blue on columns 1 and 2, and then he for the next red blue he course corrected on the right hand side of the screen so that he could preserve the horizontal clear that he had set up earlier. And now if Frank gets a double blue here, he can end this with a cross, but he decides to just go ahead and not wait, set up the rest of the blues. Adelito out at about a 210 and Frank out at about a 215. So this is close going into 15.
Yeah, these guys, again, just playing lights out Dr. Mario as, wow, just very different looking boards here.
There's going to be a nice T clear setup here on Adelito's board, and here comes the double blue is just what he needs.
Yeah, this is good play.
Adelito playing it straight, or Frank rather. Now I'm getting them confused.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Really, both of them are playing it straight. I mean, Adelito's doing really well setting up these easy little efficient combos. A lot of red to worry about on his board. He's going to take the horizontal clear and then immediately set up the lightning bolt. Very nicely done. Now he's got a horizontal clear, just dropping it straight down the middle.
Yeah, and he's got opportunities for a lot more horizontals as well. Just needs to get access to them. And yeah, red blues would have been perfect for that, but had to do some stuff underneath. So yeah, that's going to be just the way things are going to have to be for Adelito there. Meanwhile, Frank is blazing his way down the bottom of this board, and man, nice lightning bolt there. That is going to put him just needing a couple of reds and a couple of yellows away from finishing this level 15. And he's going to be doing so with a slight advantage, I think. There's a 413, and Adelito out at a 413. So, tie ball game, folks. Go crazy.
Lightning log set up for Frank if he can just get a blue-yellow. And he's starting to wait. He's starting to hold out, and now he was starting to get a sense there that he wasn't going to get the exact pill he wanted, so he just went ahead and took it. Still a really nice clear to look at, though.
All right, that's a lot of blue for Frank. I don't know what he did to anger the RNGesus today, but uh, it has been coming up all blue for him all night, as Adelito with a better color top line, but yeah, it's been rough for Frank RNG wise, although he has gotten out of that rush of blue and is down into a section with a lot less blue in it.
Yeah, this double blue is going to give him a nice tee. If he can address column 3 soon, and preferably with a red blue, but really any red would do there, because he has a couple of double clear opportunities horizontally if he can get the right pills to do it. Looks like he's trying to set up more on top of that. Look at that clear. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's extra layers of thinking, and that is not the easiest thing to do in this game.
Nice D sandwich by Frank, too, and on the right-hand side of his board. So he can get that in-between clear that he was hoping for.
Just things going back and forth between these two players. It's not evident yet who's going to have the advantage as we go into 17. Frank does have the cleaner board, but as we've seen multiple times from Adelito, just a quick tap here and there, and he, does that. Just gets everything that he needs.
It's pretty fascinating to see how they really do also create situations in which the wrong color pills can't necessarily hurt them in the sense that they can minimize the damage that bad RNG can do. But both players out of 16 at pretty much the same time. Nice drop into a horizontal for Frank to start his level 17. He's got to get out of this one ahead of him, though. His tournament life is on the line.
Yeah, I think it was about a 3-second difference in Frank's favor, but that's not something he can count on to remain here in this level 17, as Adelito not getting great RNG, but has managed to find his way through it. And yeah, he's finding his diversity. That has been the real issue, is his color diversity options, and he is just finding his way through that.
Here comes a nice in-between clear for Frank. He's maintaining it's pretty much a dead heat right now, because I couldn't even finish my sentence before his lead evaporated. There is a 3-second time difference between the players as well, so Frank may be facing a tiny deficit right now.
But it's all going to be dependent on what Dr. Mario decides to give our players, as Adelito finally getting the pill that he needs. But you can look, and it's just a lot of red-yellow at the top of his board. That won't last too long, but it can really be an issue for him.
Yeah,
Of
but
course,
right now,
same
Frank
thing
is
for
just
Frank.
facing tons and tons of yellow that he needs to address quite soon.
Oh, and that pill is perfect. A drop horizontal combo for Adelito. He is now 6 or 7 viruses ahead and starting to find his way forward into this. Again, this is the last level. If Adelito wins this one, he has won our tournament. Frank with a great combo there. But
He had
is it going to be?
he had been waiting on that combo for a long time, and Adelito took that time to build his lead.
It is. Is it going to be too little? Is it going to be too late? Is Adelito going to get out of this one in time? He's having to prioritize
Adelito's just a
everything.
couple reds away, and he can work his way underneath, and he's going to be out at a 920.
Wow, and look at how close Frank was to finishing up his own board. Just this yellow and this next red, and he is out at a 934. So GG's to both players. That has been a heck of a match to cap off a heck of a tournament.
GG's to both players. Adelito extends his match winning streak to 28 and wins the 7th consecutive bracket that he has participated in.
Yes, indeed. So get your GGs and chat to both players, and that's going to do it for us for this main bracket tournament. Thank you, everybody who has been here, who's been part of it, who's been watching, who's been competing, who's been commentating, everything. We're glad you're here. We're glad you've been part of this. Don't forget to double check on your availability the Veterans Day weekend for the Tour Gaming Expo in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to be there for a versus Dr. Mario championship. But between now and then, don't forget next Saturday is our silver bracket. We've got the largest group of competitors we have ever had, and they're going to be ready to try to take an extra 4 points and stay in these standings. So, Packy, anything you want to add before we close it up?
All I can add is just keep being good to each other, enjoy yourselves, and enjoy. That's it.
Excellent. So, congratulations to Adelito for his 7th championship. And from all of us here at the DRMC, my co commentators, Larva12, Packy619, all the competitors, our restreamer, the Dave, thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, take your vitamins.